What's up, guys? Today we are back to the single episode reviews. At least for now, we'll see next week what happens. But I really wanted to get into this one. This one was a freaking amazing stuff here. And so I really wanted to get this video recorded. And so, well, let's just get into it. So not a whole lot really happened, but at the same time, a lot happened, if you know what I mean. So we leave off with where we left off with Bakugo dragging Deku, not literally, but they went to that first place that they fought, and then he's like, I want this rematch and I want you to fight me. And so, like, we don't know what's going through Bakugo's head. You know, for all we know, he's just like, you know, mad about the first match and how Deku beat him that first time. But really, as the episode progresses, we start getting deeper and deeper into kind of Bakugo's psyche and what he's been, you know, dealing with during this time, and especially with in regards to Midoriya and how their relationship dynamic is. And the way I'm viewing this episode is kind of like a metamorphosis. Like, you take Bakugo and Midoriya's relationship and their character dynamics, and this is like their metamorphosis. Like, before, you know, early in the series, Bakugo was just this freaking bully, yet Midoriya just still followed him around because he still looked up to him, because he was really, you know, Bakugo's obviously always been really powerful and like a natural physical like hero, you know. So Midoriya really looked up to him, and that's why he followed. And we've established in this episode again that Midoriya looks up to Bakugo in that sense, that he's really strong, and he really admires him in that aspect of his character. And while he does look up to him for that, he actually does not like, surprisingly, doesn't like how he is really, you know, mean, he's insulting, and he's a bully. He doesn't like that aspect of him. Surprisingly, I don't know why he wouldn't like that, you know? I mean, I honestly don't really care for Bakugo's character all that much, but this episode really helped me to appreciate his character a little bit more, at the very least. So, we go into their kind of dynamics here, and I really appreciated that they went into the past and how Bakugo was like a bully, but then Midoriya still followed him around despite him bullying him. And Midoriya's like, yeah, well, you know, yeah, that may be true, and I hate that part of you, but you know, that still doesn't cancel out the fact that you're like this like really strong and person that can be looked up to by, you know, people. So I really liked that aspect of it, and I also thought that it was interesting how they are kind of clashing with their ideals of looking up to All Might too. So I mean, the dialogue was really interesting. I think it was well written, is what I'm trying to say. But really, during this fight, they go back and forth, and Bakugo is just like angry at Midoriya. He's got all this pent-up aggression, and slowly we reveal kind of why he has this aggression and what's been bothering him, at least recently. And it's that he feels responsible for All Might's kind of descent into not having his power, or his retirement, I guess you can call it. So Bakugo, because he was kidnapped by those heroes, he's like, I was too weak, you know, I should have been stronger, I should have been able to get out of there by myself, blah blah blah. And obviously he feels responsible because All Might stepped in to fight all for one. You know, Three Musketeers. But so I really liked that. I thought that brings a whole nother layer to this guy who we've hinted at having more than just this bad attitude, yells all the time, is a bully, you know, all the time. And it reminds me of back in the past when if I remember correctly, they were trying to recruit him to be on the bad guy's side, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And they didn't realize that, okay, well, outwardly he's just this loud, obnoxious bully, but really that's not like who he is on the inside. On the inside, he is a hero, and he will like do the right thing. And with these characters during this whole show, like almost like all the characters that they've delved into, I love how they just delve into them, and they just bring more and more layers as the series progresses, and it just makes you like the characters even more. Like I said, I haven't really liked Bakugo that much, and I like him a little bit more now. So in terms of Bakugo's, so he feels responsible for All Might's retirement, and Midoriya is trying to convince him otherwise. And of course, they are having this freaking awesome fight. I gotta say, like, this fight is probably at least one of the best in the series, I would say. With the choreography, the animation was really fluid. I liked the use of the stylized stretching of the limbs and everything like that. It wasn't distracting at all, and it really fit really well with the choreography that they were going with. It was back and forth, man. Like, you think that Deku's gonna win and like hit him, but then Bakugo does something to like counteract him, and then Bakugo's going in, he's like, oh, he's gonna fire like right in his face or something, and then freaking Deku just does this like sonic kick, like freaking Guile does in Street Fighter 2, and he just kicks his hand away. Yeah, really like emotional stuff, and I think that these guys, like I said, metamorphosed in their like character dynamic or relationship, whatever you want to call it. And this is actually confirmed by All Might in the very end when he finally goes and stops their fight. He's like, okay, they've become true rivals now. Because before, I feel like Bakugo was always looking down on Midoriya and not really thinking of him as an equal, and he's getting more and more frustrated that this guy who had no power is now catching up to him so fast, like, because he's always been like the natural, the top of the class kind of guy. And now Midoriya, who was at the bottom of the barrel, is now just catching up to him like insanely fast, and so obviously he's frustrated about that, understandably. But they have that flashback of All Might saying, you know, level 50 is gonna increase at a slower rate than a level 1 guy, you know? So I guess that makes sense. But that brings me to the shoot style of Midoriya's, which I think is interesting. I don't know, like, really how practical it really is, but it does bring in the fact that Midoriya is progressing into bringing all for one. I mean, one for all. I got those two mixed up. It's really easy to do, but into his own like way. And so once he's progressed enough, then he's going to, you know, keep progressing, keep making it his own, keep increasing that percentage. So he was able to get up to 8% now, and realizing that he's gotten stronger. That's another great thing, is that they are showing actual progression. Like, he is now stronger and more even with Bakugo now. So I feel like they're pretty much even here, so that they can be really good rivals to each other, and each, you know, it's a really good way to increase and one-up each other. So I thought the percentage thing was interesting, and it was also really cool how he was using the shoot style, and he's like, oh man, well, you know, I need to switch up my tactics a little bit, because I can tell that he's kind of reading me a little bit too well. So he goes into for his 5% punch. Boom, right in the freaking face, man. I thought it was over right then and there, but I guess either Bakugo is tougher than I thought he was, or Deku at 5% is weaker than I think he is. What do you guys think? Do you think 5% is like, how strong do you think that is? Like, do you think it's Captain America, Spider-Man level? or like a Batman. I don't know. That's just a random thought that I had. But anyway, that punch did not knock Bakugo out. He is tough enough, and he's like, "Do you think that's gonna stop me?" And ends up winning the battle. So I thought it was great that he is the one who wins, because I don't know how I would feel if Midoriya actually won, because this now leaves it open for Deku, who is the main character, to have a goal to strive forward. Like he says, he's like, I'm going to get stronger and I'm going to be strong enough to beat you. So, round 3, I guess we got to look forward to round 3. See if Midoriya has increased enough to be able to defeat Bakugo, even though this time I felt like he was pretty dang close already. So anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think of this fight, and what do you think of the episode in general? I thought it was an excellent episode. So anyway, I guess that's all the thoughts that I have right now. As always, I hope you had some fun on here, and thanks for checking out the video. Check out the other videos on the channel if you feel so inclined. I've got some really cool music and other great videos on there. Anyway, thanks a lot, and take it easy.